One thing I just wanted to say about sort of the way that public radio works, and I should say that most public radio stations, member stations, run a lot of AP copy. I mean, AP's broadcast wire is hugely important. And so if you do something that gets picked up by the AP broadcast wire, it's probably going to be read by all the public radio stations in your area, and maybe by commercial radio stations too. I mean,
I know this, just if you go on this website, you'll see this. There are 5,000 news, TV, and radio stations that subscribe to the AP. So you're really out there. If you get on the broadcast wire, and there are different wires, and that's broadcast wire is a division of the APs.
The other thing I wanted to say is there's kind of three tiers in terms of public broadcasting, the way it works on the radio side. There's the member, at least in this region, there's the member station, so there's Oregon Public Broadcasting. And then there is, at the top, there's NPR, which is national and broadcasts in every state all over the place. And then in between we have something that's somewhat unique here that's called the Northwest News Network, which is Triple N. And that's people like Tom Bonsi. If you're public radio listeners, Tom Bonsi, and there's a few others who are based in different parts of the Northwest. And their stories actually get picked up sort of like AP, but much, much smaller, among the other member stations in the region. So if there's a story that I do that's of regional significance, which is determined by the editors at the Northwest News Network, then it'll air not just in Oregon, but in Washington and Idaho. So, and the same thing will happen if something is happening in Idaho and it's deemed of regional significance. It'll get picked up by Triple N, and then it'll be distributed through the 3 states. And the editor there, I can give you his name, and I can give you my name and number, and you can get his contact information later. His name is Colin Fogarty, and he used to be a very good reporter at OPB for years, and he is now the main editor for the Triple N network, and he's based in Portland. So if you want to know more about him, I can do that. If you want, I can just give you my contact. The easiest way to reach me is my email, which is just rmanning, so rmanning @opb.org. So.
And at what angle of farm school would you be most likely to cover?
Well, the one that's most interesting. No, it's sort of like it's. I mean, the one that basically. There's a lot of things that can be potentially interesting. I mean, it comes down to what is going to make an interesting story, and so it's sort of like, are there going to be telling a story from the kid's perspective, where you can hook people in with. This is going to be nutritional for kids, or this is going to be fun for kids, and so it's going to be a fun story, so people are going to like the story for that reason. Or is there an important news value of some kind that's being served by the story, such as, this is a program that enjoys wide support generally in the public, but it's underfunded, and so here let's do a profile of the program itself and get people interested in sort of the questionable funding priorities of Salem or wherever. Unlike what Leslie said, I do tend to do policy stories, and I am both the educational reporter and the environmental reporter for OPB. So you can pretty much pitch me from either direction, and I'll be interested. I'm also the land use reporter, so if it's we only have 4 reporters, so we all go in a lot of different directions.
And I think that's essential, actually, to note that whatever we can do to save them time is extremely valuable. So in regards to fact sheets and cutting out the rhetoric, because they know what we're doing. They know why we love farm to school in some manner. Just keeping it brief. And correct me if I'm wrong, if there are other ways and other tips in regards to, would you rather see a 3-sentence email, or would you rather see a long press release with a picture attached?
Something in between, and no pictures. Radio. No pictures. That would be, yeah, for me, that would be the case. I don't know what, yeah, that, sorry.
When I spoke to Jason last night, he said to me, tell people, I don't want to hear how wonderful your program is. I just want to hear why it's different. And I want to hear the story behind the story. And I think you kind of touched on that. You know, what's different about what you're doing. If you use that as a guideline, it will help you, I think, develop pitches.
Right.
I was just going to say, keep it brief and keep it concrete. We love concrete details. For instance, when the Harvest of the Month found a watermelon farmer to donate thousands of watermelons, that's a really great image. And, you know, I mean, we were eager to write about something like that. All these watermelons coming into the city. So, yeah, but brief and specific is good.
I come from a television background, and so obviously the whole thing behind television and the images, and I want to underline what everybody else is saying, it's the same sort of thing. What's different? What are the pictures are different that no one else can see but you see, that are interesting to people, that really tell the story that you want to get out? I definitely, the watermelon story, I would just like want to climb all over that one.
Kids, yes, we see that, and that, you know, you can't beat out kids and dogs, but you can only, you can't do that every time. And again, with the policy, how can you visualize that? Again, not radio, but for print, you know, they're going to send a photographer out most likely, and AP will probably want a picture or two also, and obviously television will want to send a camera out there. How would they visualize it? Really think about it if they were in their shoes. Any kind of behind the scenes, like in a kitchen, the people that are working, maybe how the cook comes in, if it's a scratch kitchen, how the cook comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning. As a filmmaker myself, I've had to get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to go be there for whenever the person shows up, so it's not reenacted, but it's real, because you can't make the sun go down a little bit further so it looks earlier. And another story that was the last day of a milk delivery guy, so you're up with him at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, so you're getting my picture. So these are interesting little stories with lots of interesting visuals that maybe you know about, and the people that are trying to say, yes, I'll share your story, but how am I going to share it? Give me more information. So some suggestions.